Hey guys, today we're going to be doing a real-world review on Apple's latest M4 MacBook Air, and I've got it in the sky blue color. Let's take a look. In the box, we've got the laptop here. Now it's not in all the paper because I've been using it for a few weeks. Inside, you've got MagSafe 3 cable, color matched for the laptop. You've got a 30-watt USB, dual USB-C adapter. So you can power it through this if you like. That's not how I power it, so I'll talk about that in a little bit here. But that's what comes in the box. The laptop itself, the sky blue color, guys, it just, when I saw this, I thought, man, that is a sharp looking laptop. And even though it's not real in-your-face blue, like some would argue that it's silver, it's enough to where I think it gives it an elegant touch. It looks classy. It doesn't get a lot of fingerprints on it. I can touch it all the time. I don't know if you guys remember the M2 MacBook that they had in the midnight color, but holy moly was that thing a fingerprint magnet. I don't have to deal with that at all on this. It's got a nice all-metal design. You'd think it's really heavy. It's not. It's just over 2 pounds. I can slip it into my bag real easily. It doesn't really feel like much more weight than my iPad, but it certainly does a lot more. As far as port selection goes, there's not a lot to talk about here. You've got some basics. You've got that MagSafe 3 connection. You've got 2 Thunderbolt 4 USB Type-C ports, so you can hook in your peripherals to there. And then on the other side, you've got a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack if you want to hook in some studio headphones and listen to your content that way. Inside, it's really nice. It carries over that same sky blue color, that nice satin-like finish. The keyboard on this is really, really nice to type on, guys. It's so comfortable. I find myself typing on this even when I could just respond to a text on my phone, and I just jump on here, I start typing away, and I don't ever really get fatigued. It's very comfortable to use. And the trackpad is no different. The trackpad is a good size on this. It's going to be, you know, most of the palm rest area here, so you're not going to run into your fingers running off of the trackpad and having to jump back. Somehow you always just kind of stay where you need to be with it. I do like that, and it glides really, really smooth. It works really well with the gestures that Apple has built into the operating system. So I don't have any complaints there on this. It's also backlit, as we've seen for several years with these Macs. It gives enough light to be able to get done what you need if you're in a dark room. The screen on this is really, really good for most people, I'd say. It's a 500 nit, 13.6 inch liquid retina display. Still no OLED on these. Apple has reserved that for the Pro line. I wouldn't expect that anytime soon. But for what most people do, the color accuracy on this is really, really good. It's a great representation of what it is that you're looking at. And it's bright enough, really. If you're going to be using it indoors, especially, I've even found instances where I've had to turn down the brightness, and at 500 nits. I will say, though, that I took it out on my patio, had some morning coffee last weekend, and while I was out there, I found myself tapping the brightness up button repeatedly because it wasn't quite enough, or what I was used to, maybe. I still got done what I needed to do on it, don't get me wrong. But if you're somebody that's going to be using your laptop outside a lot, you might want to opt for the Pro model, where you're going to go from 500 nits to 1,000, and that's going to make a big difference in those situations. But if you don't fall into that bracket, then there's really no reason to spend that extra money. It's just going to be a brighter screen that you're not going to use in those environments where you would find it useful. So aside from that, performance on this thing, I can't find anything that'll really slow it down. And I don't know what it is with Apple and the way that they manage their memory, but they're able to achieve with these laptops what other manufacturers haven't been able to. This model here has a 16 gigs of RAM in it instead of the base configuration of 8 that you would get in the previous models. Apple is making that the new standard, and you can see why, with Apple's intelligence and that. And just my basic programs running in the background, I'm actually sitting at using 62% of that 16 gigs right now with only 6.45 free. and that's just idling right here. Now, you would think that once you launch DaVinci Resolve, or you start getting heavy into Final Cut, and you start doing exports, and you've got all kinds of other things running in the back. Maybe you've got 20 Chrome tabs open, and you know, it's really bogging down the system. That would be the experience, that it would feel like a bogged down system. And guys, I have tried to slow this thing down, and it just won't. Apple packages up the memory, and if you need it for another app and you open it, it instantaneously allocates that to the new app without any crashing, without really any web pages reloading that I've noticed. Maybe you guys have seen that. Drop it in the comments below if that's been your experience, but not me. It just chugs along, everything opens right away. There's no spinning beach ball. There's no crazy app crashes. It just works. It's what you would expect from a good quality product from Apple. And just because the MacBook Air is their entry-line laptop doesn't mean that you can only do entry-level things with it. Like I mentioned, you can use programs like DaVinci Resolve, Final Cut, and it runs just fine. If you want faster export times, you can get into the Pro models, and they're going to deliver in that area. But is it fast enough? Yeah. And it used to be that you'd have to get into Apple's Pro-level chips to achieve these things, but not anymore. This is the base M4. The only thing I've upgraded on it is the storage. It originally was offered at 256, and I opted for the 512. I wanted to have a little bit more room for, you know, a staging area of videos before I would transfer them over to an external drive. And it's been great. I didn't need to go to the terabyte. It's been plenty for what I'm doing. And connectivity, guys, I mean, it's got the 2 ports on it. So if you're on the go, you can hook in something like one of these dongles to it, get your HDMI, your VGA, Ethernet, card reader, all of that. The only thing I don't like about that is it kind of just hangs. And I know they make ones that fix to it and whatnot, but there's just something about a dongle that has sort of a bad feel to me. And I do use those ports, so I was like, what am I gonna do? You know, I don't want to use a dongle on it. Maybe if I'm traveling it makes sense, but I'm not traveling all the time. So what I do is I actually use this stand right here, and I can link this below too. This stand here, it rotates so I can put it on any angle that I want to. On the sides, it's got all of the same ports that I would get on the external dongle. You've got your card reader over here. And then what I do is I just set it up on here. I hook into the side. I've got my power delivery running to it. I've got my monitor set up for my desk, and then I'm able to just do everything that I need to do. And it even displays onto my 32-inch ViewSonic that runs at 144 hertz. The screen on this is a 60 hertz display, so it's not anything crazy, but you know, I thought having an iPhone with the 120 hertz refresh rate, or Apple's ProMotion as they call it, would make it so that when I got on my computer, I was missing that, and I would have wished that I got the MacBook Pro so I could take advantage of that. But even when I'm using it just in laptop mode like this, I don't notice any jittering. I don't notice too much, you know, tracking as I scroll through web pages. And I hook it into my big screen most of the time, so I'm actually getting a better refresh rate off of that 90% of the time when I use it. So there are definitely some easy workarounds for the shortcomings, if you will, of this laptop. The screen on it is a glossy display. Apple does offer an upgrade option once you get to the 1 terabyte level, where you can get what they call the nano texture, which is essentially like a matte finish, so it doesn't display as much reflection. I found a workaround for that solved not 1 but 2 problems for me, and that was just with this simple privacy screen. I picked this up on Amazon, maybe 15 bucks, 20 bucks, something like that. It's got a little magnetic top. So I go ahead and I just stick it on the screen like that. And now I've got essentially a matte display that is close enough to Apple's nano texture to cut down on some of the reflections. If I'm using it outdoors, this is especially helpful. And because I work with personal information, clients' data, some HIPAA stuff, I like to have a privacy screen on there, so that when somebody's standing from the side, they're not really going to be able to make out what's on the screen, and privacy is very important to us here. So it was an easy fix for a simple problem, and I'm glad I did it. I can remove it just as easily like that. Now, the camera on this is good. It's not great, it's just good. It's good enough. You can do FaceTimes and Zooms, and nobody's making fun of you because you look like you're out of the 90s. They've upgraded it to a 1080p camera now, and they've also increased the quality of the microphones. They now have something called Studio Sound, where it gets rid of a lot of the background noise and is supposed to really zone in on your voice. I haven't done a lot of testing with that part yet, but it's there, right? It's incremental improvements, and we've all kind of come to the assumption that webcams are just kind of, if they're built into the computer, they're not great. And that's okay, because with Apple's continuity, what I do is I'm able to just take my iPhone, I have a little mount, and it goes on the top here, and then I can use my 4K camera right here and record awesome video without having to, you know, buy a laptop that's got a better quality, if you will. You just can't do better than that. So there are workarounds for everything with this, and right now is a really great time to pick one of these up. Apple's been putting these on sale from time to time over the last few months. I've had mine for about 4 months now, and the battery life is as good as new. It still holds up 15, 16 hours all day use. And if I do start to get low, I've got those Thunderbolt ports where I can just plug in a power bank, get some juice, and keep going. So there's nothing that really stops me from using this. Aside from that, it's just been a solid all-around laptop. The price is amazing on it right now. As I mentioned, it's on Amazon. You can pick the base model for $849. It's a crazy, insane deal for all you're getting here. $849 is going to get you the 256. It's going to get you the 16 gigs of RAM. You're going to get that M4 processor, and that's going to be the 13-inch model. Now, if you want to jump up to the 512 like I did, that's going to cost you an extra $200, bringing the total cost up to $1049, but still very, very good value for what you're getting, considering the software integration, how seamlessly it works with all of your apps, the performance that really never seems to quit on this. And if you do need a little bit bigger display, they've got a 15-inch model you can pick up for $1049 for the base model of that too. So if you guys think that this is something that you'd like to hear more about, I can go more in depth on the performance. Go ahead and drop that in the comments below. And if you are interested in buying it, or any of the things I talked about, I'll drop some links for those in the description. And if you could help support my channel by checking out using those links, I would greatly appreciate it. It's no extra cost to you, but it makes all the difference to us. So thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll have more videos to come. We'll see you soon.